y'all? My name is Jordan. I'm from Carson, California. I just turned 24 actually on August 15th. Shout out to the Leos.
What's up? It's your girl Neekko.
Yeah, so I'm Written Wrose, or people can call me Jordan, whichever they prefer. But I think the more that I kind of develop my identity in myself, I prefer to be called Written Wrose. But you know, people call me Jordan, I still answer to that, of course. It's not new for me. It's been in me this entire time. Like, my family has known it's been in me this entire time. But it was just a matter of, like I said, kind of realizing, like, okay, I'm comfortable enough to where I can release it and like let it out. So yeah. I think what inspires me is, first of all, God. God is my inspiration. I feel like God is definitely my source. God is a person, or not even a person, the power who has put everything that I have within me to use and give back to the world. So kind of like having that understanding and being aware of that kind of helps with my passion, because it's like, all right, well, this is, you know, because God could have given my gift to somebody else, but the gift that I have is given to me. So that's what kind of helps me stay passionate. But at the same time, just like me growing up, like my mom, she was a single parent. My dad, he was very involved in our lives, but I spent most of like my time like with my mom. And so like to kind of like see like her struggle like from time to time, like I was always like really connected to that. And in my head, like I've always kind of wanted to like just create like a better life, like for myself, but also like for her and like the people around me. So knowing that like now I'm kind of in a position to create change and provide like that platform for change for myself, but for other people, I think that's where I get my passion from. And simply just me enjoying what it is that I do. Like I enjoy being able to be the person to have like a positive impact on people, just with like the conversations that I have, or the words that I write to people. Yeah, it's just really exciting. I think my brand is me. Yeah, so I'm definitely, of course, still Jordan. But that's the name that like my parents gave me, which I still love that name, because I think everyone kind of has some type of connection to like their real first name that they were born with. However, I think it's important as being Written Wrose. I think Written Wrose kind of symbolizes like who I see myself as, like just how like you have Neekko, but that's not like your name that like your parents gave you. But that's like how you identify yourself as. And so with Written Wrose, I think it definitely symbolizes like who I am. Written Roses symbolizes like my connection to writing, and the power that like writing has given to me, but to other people as well. And my brand in general, like Wroses, I think that definitely reflects who I am, and who I'm still continuing to be, inspiring myself to create the life that I want to live with my vision and my passion, but also sharing that message to other people as well, which I think reflects my personality, because I feel like with what I do with my brand, it's never, of course, yeah, it's for me, but it's for other people as well. Roses, Written Wrose, it's all me. So I feel, just for me, like I can say, oh, I want a four-story house. Yeah, I said it, but if I don't believe it, and if I don't write it down and like put my mind on that, like it's not going to manifest. So I think there's a process to speaking and to writing out your words, and not just like saying it just to say it. So I think that's where the power lies. Okay, so I did just publish a book on August 11th. Had a book signing at Comfort LA and everything. That was pretty fun. And shout out to people who came and supported me. I really appreciate that love. And even the people who weren't able to be there physically. I had a lot of people tell me like, man, like I wanted to come, but I couldn't come. I'm like, it's cool. Like it's about intentions. And so, as far as my book, so my book is called Written Wroses. And what it is it's a chapbook. And I get that question a lot, like, well, what's a chapbook? So a chapbook is pretty much composed of, quotes or poems, journal entries. It's not really like a full story, which I kind of like because for me, I kind of recently just got into the habit of like reading and like actually enjoying it. So I think it's a good way, kind of just for starters, just for people to just get in the habit of like picking up a book and like reading, whatever. And so in my book, I have quotes and journal entries that I wrote kind of when I was in college. And so when I was in college, that was like my way of, because I was still really shy in college. And so instead of me like talking to people about how I was feeling, I found it easier for me to like write it out. And so that's kind of what I would do. But it wasn't until I kind of like started sharing my words where I knew like, okay, I can relate to people, I can connect to people, and I kind of like that, having that influence, but in a positive way. I had to figure out, okay, how is my cover art gonna look, or how am I going to introduce this chapter? How do I want to arrange these chapters? So I think that's the most important process, like really figuring out, well, yeah, I want to publish this book and I want to get this book out, but like, what is the main goal for the book and what do I want the reader to get out of it? The format of my book, it wasn't formatted the way it is now. Like originally, I had everything written in paragraph form. And so even me kind of getting the script together, I would look at it and I'm like, okay, well, I don't want it to look like this. So I tried to figure out a way, well, how can I make it look like easy on the reader's eye to where it's like not too much, but it's still presented in a good way. And that's another thing, like you have to think about presentation. Like, well, how do you want to present your work? Do you want it in paragraph format? Do you want it in stanzas? Do you want it in bullet points? So just all these things that, when you first start, you don't have an idea about, but I think that's what kind of helps you appreciate the process even more. So yeah, there's definitely a process. I had it edited, and then, I took multiple looks at it and changed it around, the wording around, me meeting with my friend Darian, who has his own publishing company, who I actually ended up working with. And so when I met with Darian, it was the same thing. He was really supportive. He was like, all right, like we need to make sure like it's exactly how you want it. So, I had multiple meetings with him, even down to, the size of the book. But yeah, just as far as like that process, I think like the main part is just like realizing like, okay, how do you want it to look? And then once I sent everything to them, then that was pretty much all we had to do. Like I sent them the final cover art, the final script, and they sent it over and they pretty much, they put it together. And I think like the ISBN numbers, like all of those like comes with like that process. 'Cause that's the question my mom was asking me. She was like, are you gonna have a ISBN number? Like, cause you need that if you want to order it and yada yada. I'm like, yeah, like it's gonna have one. Okay, so you guys, so my Instagram is at Written Wrose. So it's written and then WROSE. So people go to my Instagram. I have a PayPal link in my bio, and so if people click on the PayPal link, it's gonna link them to PayPal, or people can get it in person as well. So this right here is a jewel that I want you guys to really pay attention to and focus on. And so what this jewel right here represents are affirmations. And so what an affirmation is, it's pretty much just like you reaffirming to yourself positive things in life, which I think is really important because there's so much negativity around that we're constantly exposed to where we need to feed ourselves with that positive words, with that positive energy. So an affirmation can be as simple as you waking up in the morning and saying, I'm in control of my life, or you going to sleep at night saying, I have the power to do whatever it is that I put my mind to. So just getting yourself into the habit of affirming to yourself, speaking those things out constantly on a consistent basis, whether it's you speaking it or writing it down. Something I really want you guys to get into the habit of, as I continue to get into the habit of as well, is sending out positive affirmations into the atmosphere. And once you start doing that, you'll see what can happen, and you'll even be more aware of your words and the power of your words. So this jewel represents affirmations. What's up, y'all? It's Written Wrose, and I'm on the move with my girl, Neekko.